If you've been chasing financial success with modern methods, but still feel that you're falling short, it's probably because you've skipped the timeless ones. Proverbs isn't just a spiritual text, it's a strategic manual for building wealth like a man. It's direct, no nonsense, and brutally honest about how money really works. And here's the truth: the principles inside Proverbs have outlasted every economic trend, every guru hack, and every financial shortcut. This video is going to walk you through 5 financial lessons straight from Proverbs that still work for you right now. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you want to build wealth with discipline, confidence, and purpose, these are the principles you need to live by. And if you want to go beyond information and start building results, then it's time to join my private coaching program. This isn't for lazy men or theory junkies. It's for men ready to get serious about their finances, their discipline, their health, and their future. Join the brotherhood of high-performing men who are getting clarity and winning. Click the first link in the description and join us. Let's get right into it. 1. Diligence leads to wealth. Laziness leads to lack. It's simple, but it's also the foundation of everything. Most men want success, but they don't want to commit to the process that produces it. Diligence isn't about working nonstop. It's about being intentional, reliable, and consistent. It's choosing to show up every day with focus. You manage what needs to be managed. You finish what you start. You don't wait for motivation, you move. The man who practices diligence over time wins. He doesn't need a miracle. He doesn't need perfect timing. He just needs to keep building. Proverbs says, wealth grows through steady discipline, not sudden luck. Laziness, on the other hand, is deceptive. It doesn't always look like lying on the couch. It shows up as procrastination, excuses, distractions, and waiting for the right time. A lazy man looks busy, but achieves little. He starts a lot and finishes nothing. If you want financial strength, diligence is non-negotiable. You don't need to hustle endlessly. You need to commit to showing up consistently and doing what others avoid. Most men quit when it gets hard. Proverbs tells you, double down when others flake out. That's how you win. Start tracking where your time actually goes. Watch your patterns. Are you acting like a diligent man or distracted? The answer will show you exactly why your finances look the way that they do. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Choose steady growth instead. That verse might as well be written in bold letters across the scammed pitch, crypto hype video, and overnight success promise you see online. Here's the problem. Men today are addicted to shortcuts. Everyone's looking for the fast lane, but the faster the money comes in, the faster it usually disappears. Because the habits, mindset, and self-control required to keep money are never developed. Proverbs makes it clear, real wealth isn't built overnight. It's built in layers. You don't build a fortress in a day. You build it brick by brick, decision by decision. The man who chooses slow, smart growth over hype will always outlast the guy chasing the jackpot. Steady gain might not look sexy, but it gives you security. And here's the best part. When you build slow, you build strong. You don't get rattled when things get shaken. You've got roots. The men who win financially aren't the ones making wild bets. They're the ones making boring, consistent moves, saving every month, investing automatically, and avoiding lifestyle creep, living on less than you make, no matter how much they earn. Proverbs isn't outdated, it's undefeated. The man who gathers little by little ends up with more than the guy who won the jackpot but lacked character. Focus on building the man before you try building the bank account. That's the only kind of success that lasts. Number 3, a man without self-control will ruin himself financially. Proverbs 25:28 says, a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Do you know what that means? A man without self-control is defenseless. He's vulnerable. He can be conquered by anything: temptation, impulse, emotion, or pressure. Now ask yourself, what does that look like financially? It's the man who swipes his card without thinking, who makes emotional purchases, who upgrades his lifestyle just because he feels like it, makes no plan and calls it living in the moment. That's not freedom, that's financial chaos. Proverbs teaches that real men master themselves before they master wealth. Without self-control, it doesn't matter how much you earn, you will blow it. And worse, you'll keep repeating the cycle. Every time you let emotions run your spending, you reinforce weakness. Every time you choose pleasure over discipline, you tear down your own fortress. A strong man guards himself. That's what self-control is. It's not just about saving money. It's about ruling over your desires. And this is exactly what we focus on inside my private coaching program. We don't just talk about budgets. We train discipline. We build men who stop reacting and start leading. If you're done with financial chaos and you're ready to build a life that's controlled, focused, unshakable, and simple, join us. The first link in the description will take you there. Self-control is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And when you master that, you stop being a victim of your own bad decisions and start becoming a leader in your own life. Number 4, don't co-sign or enable foolishness. Guard your resources. One who lacks sense gives a pledge and puts up security for a neighbor. In modern terms, co-signing loans, backing bad decisions, investing in drama. Men, let this sink in. Just because you can help someone doesn't mean that you should. Proverbs is crystal clear. Foolish generosity is not a virtue, it's stupidity. You're not called to be a financial hero to people who won't help themselves. Co-signing is a trap. You take on risk without reward. You link your financial health to someone else's irresponsibility. You say yes to protect a relationship and then end up paying for someone else's mistake. That's not leadership. That's weakness. Guarding your resources doesn't mean being selfish. It means being strategic. You can still be generous, but it must be directed with wisdom. The man who gives out of guilt and pressure will always regret it. But the men who give out of strategy strengthens his positions and others. Here's a rule that I live by. If you can't afford to lose the money, don't loan it. If a friend asks for help, give what you can as a gift, never as debt. That way, if they pay you back, it's a bonus. And if they don't, you're not bitter. Don't put your financial health at risk trying to save people from their own recklessness. Proverb calls that lacking sense, and that's right. Be generous with your wisdom, be cautious with your wallet, and remember, protection isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Number 5, generosity multiplies. It doesn't diminish. Proverbs 11:24 and 25. One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Let's break that down. Generosity doesn't subtract, it multiplies. This is a paradox most men never understand. The stingy man thinks holding back makes him strong, but Proverbs flips that logic. The generous becomes richer, not poorer. Why? Because generosity forces you to think long term. It humbles you. It makes you grateful. It aligns you with something bigger than yourself. You don't have to be a millionaire to be generous. You just have to think beyond yourself. Give with purpose. Give to people, causes, and mission that reflect your values, not just when it's convenient. Here's the real reward. Generous men gain relationships, respect, and fulfillment that selfish men never touch. They attract trust. They build tribe. They earn influence. And no, you won't always see the ROI right away. But Proverbs isn't promising dollars for dollar return. It's teaching a principle. The man who refreshes others gets refreshed himself. Sometimes that's in money. Sometimes that's in opportunities, support, or breakthrough. Start now. Build generosity into your financial life as a discipline, not as an afterthought. It's one of the most masculine, powerful things you can do with your money. The world's financial advice changes every year. Proverbs hasn't changed in 3,000 years. It also teaches character. If you want to win financially, it starts with becoming the man who's worthy of wealth, a man of diligence, a man of self-control, a man who avoids shortcuts, a man who leads with wisdom. And if you're serious about leveling up in these areas, not just listening to advice, but actually living it. I want to invite you into my private coaching program. We take men just like you who are done with average and we train them to lead, earn, and grow with wisdom. You'll find the first link in the description. We'll take you there. Join us today. You weren't made to live in confusion, lack, or fear. You were made to lead, build with wisdom, multiply with purpose, and start today.